jumping into test 3 here. So this is going to be test 3 on the College Board site from their 6 paper tests. This is going to be module 1 of the math, part 1. The link and answer link should be in the description below. So let's go ahead and get rid of that and let's go through it. So again, these first on their practice tests, their 6 practice tests online. If you're looking for some of the harder problems, you'll probably want to skip down to like page 3 or 4. I do have them underlined. So if you want to kind of skip through my videos, you'll see as I go further down, you see like 13's underlined, 17, 14's underlined. So again, if you want to skip the easy stuff, the maybe a little bit more intermediate stuff, jump to those underlined problems. But yeah, let's go through it. So we have k plus 12 equals 336. So again, this is just going to be algebra. I always want to isolate my variable. So I'm going to try to get rid of everything that's blocking my variable on the same side of the equal sign. So on the left side of my equal sign, only the 12 is blocking my k. So I'm going to subtract k, or 12, subtract 12, and I should get k is equal to 324 here. So not too bad of a start. It looks like it's going to be B for number 1. And yeah, this is what the first 2-3 pages are going to look like. It looks like we have a nice angle problem there, but let's finish this side first. I see a function is defined by x to the third plus 15. What is the value of f and then in parentheses 2? So remember, this is going to be f of. And since it's usually written with an x, they're replacing that x with a number. So if they replace this x with a number here, why not also replace this x with our number, right? So 2 to the third plus 15. 2 times 2 times 2, and I'll just kind of write that out for you for the people who are looking to get a little bit more beginner experience. Whenever it's raised to the third, it's just going to be 2 times 2 times 2, and that's going to be 8 plus 15. We should be getting 23 here, or C. So again, not too bad of a start. Number 3, it looks like our first word problem. This is going to be good. So we have a tent. Rents a tent. Okay. At a cost of $11 per day. So already I'm thinking y equals mx plus b. Anytime you know that it's going to turn into one of these linear equations, you have a rate. You have an initial amount, right? Think y equals mx plus b, where your x and y stay as they are. They're going to represent, context in your equation. Maybe like y would be total cost. Maybe x is total days. M is going to be your rate. How much are you paying per? And then B is going to be like an initial. How much are you, you have to put a $100 down payment, right? So let's look at the context now. So I already see per day. So maybe this is going to be days plus a one-time, there it is, one-time insurance fee of $10. So this is going to be 10. That's my initial payment. And then the Y here is going to represent C, our total cost. Okay, so I think we have everything, right? This $11 per day. So we're going to go ahead and put that in for this. So we have everything filled out. C, I'll kind of rewrite it too. C, our total cost, is equal to $11 per day plus 10, our initial cost. I look through my answers and it looks like we're going to get C here. That's a great strategy to use for making our equations. Instead of looking through the answers and trying to match, make it yourself and then you'll immediately know the answer. It's really good practice too. Okay, let's jump up to number 4 here and let's move this over. So a nice little angle problem. So we'll go through the shortcuts kind of after we solve it. So I look at this shape, I see they have to say that they're parallel. What is the value of x? So we want to remember that there's vertical angles, right? So vertical angles are going to be angles whenever there's an intersection. The angles that are kind of diagonal from each other, like, let me redraw it. Like these two are going to be equal to each other. So that's also x. And then these two are equal to each other. So whatever you want to give them, if you wanted to call them y. But we have another angle here, don't we? This is going to represent 26. And if you're wondering that these two, angles kind of look similar. If I circled this and I circled this, don't they kind of look similar? And they are. So this shape is something that you might see every 3 SATs. You'll probably see a shape like this. You've probably seen it in your math class too. You have your 2 parallel lines with one intersecting line. there are actually only 2 angles in this entire picture. Okay, so you're going to have your 26, 26, 26, 26. They are kind of copy and pasted up there. And then you're going to have your X and X, and then X and X. So there are only 2 angles here. X is one angle, 26 is our other angle. So now how do we solve for X, right? Now that we know that we only have to focus on like one of these quadrants, not the other one, there's going to be 2 different things. So we know the vertical angle rule now. 26 is going to be 26. But we also know this other rule, and that is if I draw kind of this arch between here and here, X plus 26 has to equal 180, right? I could go the full way around and say that all 4 of these angles would make 360, but I don't need to do that much work, right? I just can do half of a circle should be 180, and under this half circle is 26 and X. So it looks like what number is going to be added to this, and I just glance at my answers, it looks like it's probably going to be D, right? 154 plus 26 gets me 180. So great angle practice for that one. Let's check out the final problem on this page. I see number 5 here. Let's see what's going on. He paid a total of $165 for a microscope. By making a down payment, I already see it. I'm going to make my equation. Anytime you see this verbiage, down payment, a rate per day, stuff like that, y equals mx plus b. Okay, easy enough. So let's fill this in. So my b is going to be a total of 160 for a microscope. So total, remember, don't be confused with my initial payment or my down payment. Total is going to be for our y. So 165 is equal to 35, that's my down payment, so that's going to be b, plus p monthly payments. Okay, so that's going to be p of $16 each, and then plus. So again, become a master of making these linear equations on these easier and more intermediate problems, and then you'll be able to do them, you know, with less difficulty on the harder problems. So again, this side is always going to be some sort of total. This is going to be our rate, with this being the like per day, per month, and then this being the amount per day or per month. And then this is always going to be your kind of down payment, your initial payment, your upfront cost, right? So again, I look through my answers for this exact thing, and I see 16p minus 37, 37p, that's not right at all, 16p plus 37 equals 165, got it, C for this one. So even on these first couple pages, there's still really good angle, really good equation practice, which is awesome. We'll start on the next one here. We'll probably do a couple more. We'll probably do like 6, 7, 8, and then we'll be done. So number 6, let's see what we got. Let's use a different color here. Okay, if y equals 5x plus 10, I'm pausing. I'm just going to solve for it. So, or no, for some reason I thought there was only one variable. We actually need extra information here, right? We could technically throw this in Desmos and it would give us a line, but they're going to be asking for something more specific here. They say, what is the value of y when x is 8, right? So if I thought in like a coordinate form, when my x is 8, what is going to be my y? So I just plug that in for our x. That's just going to be 5 times 8, which is 40, plus 10, and we should get 50 for our y here, right? So number 6 should be 50, yeah. So not too bad. I thought that it was going to be like y equals 5 plus 10 or something, and then we could just solve for y and figure out what else they wanted. But no, we got to plug in our x to get our y there. And then number 7 here, let's see what they want. We have a bar graph that shows the distribution of 419 cans. That's probably going to be important. Collected by 10 different groups. Okay, so these 10 groups together collected 419 cans. How many cans were collected by group 6? Okay, so I jump to group 6 here. It looks like 40. Well, that's not too bad. So this is just, I guess, them helping you practice your ability to read graphs. This one's just going to be 40, so we'll do a couple more problems. Not too bad there. Super easy. I thought they were maybe going to ask for like a median or something, which we'll get extra practice with that later too. And finally, it looks like this will be the finale here. What about number 8? Let's check out what's going on here. We have this table gives the distribution of votes for a new school mascot in grade level for 80 students. So that's the total number of voters here. We have 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, And then it looks like 4 options to kind of choose from. And they give us a bunch of totals, which is good. If one of these students is selected at random, what is the probability of selecting a student whose vote for a new mascot was a lion? Okay, so remember that our probability questions are always going to be what we want, what they're asking for, what they're inquiring about, over our total, right? So just from that, right, what we want over our total, what do we want? What are they asking about? They're asking about voting for a lion. So it looks like there's 20 students total that voted for a lion. So that's going to be what we want. And then our total is going to be 80. I'll scroll down a little bit so you can see it. So these probability ones aren't too bad, right? Most of them are going to be like this. What do we want out of our total? It looks like our answer here is probably going to be 20 over 80, or remember, reduce it, divide both by 20, or get rid of my zeros, divide both by 2. You should be getting 1/4 or C here. So not too bad. Good probability practice. I think we'll squeeze in maybe one more question here. Actually, no, I think this will be good. This is a really good intro. This will be part 1, and I'll be coming out with 3 or 4 more parts after this.